Well, it's time for our monthly visit with Jan McNeilon. And Jan, I am just wowed by this tomato.
It's good, huh?
This hydroponic tomato. You know, I have tomatoes in pots, but mine do not look like this.
Yeah, well, this is working, obviously, and we actually have tomatoes. There's a dozen or two tomatoes, mostly on the one, there's two in here. One's Legend and one is Oregon Spring. The Legend seem to have the most set on it now. We shake it every once in a while to shake loose the pollen and hope for more tomatoes. So there's going to be a point, though, here pretty soon where we're going to probably trim back, just cut back the blossoms that we know won't produce anything. And I may cut some foliage back to just kind of open it up a little bit and just expose some of those other blossoms and the tomatoes that are there.
And so that energy will go to the ones that have already set and have them grow and maybe ripen before the end of the season.
Right. We this is an exception certainly this year.
It has.
I have two others though that we started in the greenhouse, left them in for quite a while, and they're not quite as high, but they're doing really, really well. The ones in the vegetable garden, we were laughing earlier and saying that we're going to get like 1 tomato per plant.
Right.
And same thing with a pepper plant that's out there. Have one little tiny pepper plant with a great big pepper on it, and the pepper made the plant fall over because it was so big. But that's all we get. Is one
Don't
pepper.
invite too many people over for stuffed peppers.
No other blossoms, that's for sure.
Well, you know, and this is a woman. How many years have you been vegetable gardening? You're an experienced gardener, so if at home, if you're
That's a nice way to put it.
But you know, you have so much experience, and it's really been not the person, it is the weather.
It really is. It's an odd year, but also it depends on what you planted.
Right.
I planted lettuce 4 times. The 4th time, we have a whole lot of lettuce. So it just depends on when. We finally put it in a raised bed with some fluffier soil, and they germinated better, and we didn't lose them from the rain and rotting earlier.
Right, and so don't give up.
No, this is not your banner year for gardening. However, those of us that end up with a few ripe tomatoes can brag.
True. And what about flowers? What are we looking at some tips about flowers this year?
Well, there again, it depends on what you planted and whether or not it has the exposure that it likes. We always have planted geraniums and some other sun-loving plants in the front of our house, and we just don't get enough sun. This year I finally planted wax begonias, and they're fabulous. So it's hello. So now I know that's what I'm going to do because it looks so much better. I did plant hollyhocks this year. This is a kid memory. The alleys in Minnesota, I used to see nothing but hollyhocks, but the hollyhocks here get rust. And this is what it looks like on the bottom of the leaf. Other plants get rust as well. Roses get rust. Other plants get rust. But that's what it looks like on the underside. If you're going to spray with a fungicide, you need to do some protective sprays before it gets it. It won't go away once it has it. You can prune it out. I think this is the time of year for sanitation. Go around, observe your landscape, see what's there, what's a problem, what's outgrown its space, cut it back. We've got a hydrangea that went clear over the path, so yesterday I took it back and made it look nice still. Took it back so that we could get through. But go through and see what has diseases, what has insect issues. I've even got root weevil notches on the edges of zinnia leaves this year. I've never seen root weevil on zinnias, but that's what they're doing. So it's just an interesting year to learn some things that we might try next year, and others that in my greenhouse notebook that I've written is like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Don't try it.
So you've heard it here. Be out in your garden and enjoy it, but also observe what's going on and kind of putz around and kind of see what you could do, but really get out and enjoy it.
Well, I had a friend the other day say, a friend of hers said, well, you have such a beautiful garden. Do you ever just sit down and enjoy all the work that you've done? And she said, well, not very often. She said, I tried, I sat down, and I thought, I'm just going to relax and look. And then I decided I need to water. So just enjoy your garden. Don't get too uptight about it. Don't spend too much money. Learn how to propagate plants and go from there.
Oh, great. Well, we'll see you next month. Thanks so much.